Feeling, I suppose, is personal. What I feel is that I am out of the reality, out of the real world.
It's a heart-lifting experience.
You're free in the sky and all the stress is finished.
Sure, it's freedom, it's a fantastic feeling.
You see the sunset and you continue flying during all the day and you see the sunrise again. It's a feeling that you think that maybe you don't come back to the reality because it's so nice up there that it's amazing. You are so excited and it's so beautiful that it's even difficult to sleep after 2 days non-sleep.
It's an adventure, yeah. You start at a place and you don't know exactly where you are going to land.
We were the only ones out in the middle of the Mediterranean and there was no way to get back to land. I said, "But can you swim?" And he said, "No."
Yeah, I landed there just in the middle of the market square in the city, and that was a special moment.
There was no turn. We were too fast out to the sea. We were the first balloons actually to cross the Mediterranean Sea.
We are in Pau, France. And we are at the Coupe de Aéronautique Gordon Bennett.
The Gordon Bennett Cup is also the FAI World Long Distance Gas Balloon Championship. At the opening ceremony at Pau, France, on the northern edge of the Pyrenees, the pilots were introduced to the public and the starting order was drawn.
The Coupe Aéronautique Gordon Bennett was first launched in 1906, 109 years ago, and this is the 59th edition of the race, and it has always been the long distance race, a Cup of the Nations. Gordon Bennett was a newspaper tycoon, and he invented this Coupe Aéronautique Gordon Bennett to have stories for the newspaper. You create heroes, you create stories, which everybody wanted to hear about. That's why they bought their newspapers, and that's how it all started. Well, the routes are easy. The winner is who makes the longest distance. It sounds easy, but it's really very difficult.
At several extensive briefings before the race, the organisers explained the rules and gave detailed information on weather forecast and open airspace.
We have to follow aeronautical rules. We have to talk to the ATCs of the various cities and countries to make sure that we comply with all the airmen regulations. And then we also have rules as to which countries we're allowed to go into. For instance, Ukraine and Belarus are closed countries to us, so if we were to land in those countries, we would get a no result.
You need to stay in the air for up to almost 100 hours, but the winner is who achieves the most kilometers in a direct line, in a straight line.
At hot summer temperatures of 40 degrees centigrade, setting up and filling the balloons demanded everything from the 17 participating teams.
We're flying 1,000 cubic meter balloons, and the gas that we use for these balloons is hydrogen, whereas most people think of hot air balloons that use the propane onboard burners, whereas this one we have no onboard burner.
It's a specialty into aerostatics. Is the more silence, the more pure balloon flight. This is more adventure than accuracy.
Well, you steer the balloons by finding a different wind at different altitude.
Balloons don't have a steering wheel, they just can't go right or left. They can only do this by changing the altitude. By going up and down, they have an influence on the flight track.
We go just with the wind. We cannot control the direction. We just go up and down, playing with the ballast, and then we look for the faster stream and the best direction to the longest distance.
You think it's faster or higher, you drop some sand, you climb, and you get different speeds and different directions with different altitudes.
Gas ballooning is so sensitive about the weight that we don't drop 10 kilos of sand. We are playing with a spoon even. So every 100 grams of sand is important. So when we have to pee, we don't pee outside. We pee inside in a little tank and we keep it. And when we want to climb a little bit, we drop pee. So if we pee straight out, we climb like 100 meters or so.
We are not a lot of balloonists, especially not gas balloonists on the world, so we are a kind of a family. We are all friends basically, and so we help each other. And they are very well-known gas balloon pilots, they have more experience than others, and they come and they offer help. And we help each other, that's the way that's going in this sport.
This is a ghost of Gordon Bennett.
Being the oldest race of aviation, there's a very special atmosphere at the Gordon Bennett Cup. After tough hours of preparation under difficult conditions, the pilots took off at midnight. A big crowd of 5,000 spectators waved goodbye when they started into their several-day journey.
The liftoff, this is a very special moment. It is a big air show for us as participants. And we have all the stress in the inflation and in the preparation, in the weather tactics. You start for the race, you leave everything behind you, what was in the preparation and all the stress. And it's silent in the gas balloon. And you fly out into the night. You see the other balloons still on the launch field, if you can look back. And you go for your distance race, maybe you have 60, 80, 100 hours before you. So it's a very lifting and heart-warming moment.
It's a fantastic feeling because a lot of people looking for us, a lot of people claps, and it's a fantastic feel for pilot, for our start for the big trip, the big fantastic pleasure.
17 teams from 8 nations had registered for the race, but Team Austria 1 had to give up even before the start as they had a big rip in the envelope of their balloon.
Good night or good morning. We are 3 hours in the air and the flight is okay. We are 50 kilometers west of Po. The speed in the moment in 4,000 feet, it's 10 kilometers per hour, and it's very stable. It's all okay. Good flight. Okay. I see you the next morning. Bye bye. Good night. Good night.
It was a fantastic experience for the pilots to see the sun rise after their first night in the balloon. From Pau, the wind took them to the east over France. Some chose a more northern route, crossing Belgium or even the Netherlands. Then they all would reach Germany. The first team to land was Team USA 1, who had some technical difficulties.
Well, it's quite cozy, yes. We share a little room, we have a little bench. One can sleep or rest on the bench, sits or stays beside him or her.
We sleep 3 hours, one pilot, and the second pilot next 3 hours change. We have a food plan for 3 days and 3 nights. We eat normally food like at home.
Air traffic control is one of the concerns that we have because we are part of aviation, like aeroplanes and helicopters and all that. So we need to share the airspace, we need to be aware of that, and we are in radio contact with, for example, air traffic controllers from the airport.
The tracking map shows that the teams had different strategies, most crossing the centre of France, while some others chose a northern route over the Channel.
First, when we launched, the strategy was a little bit to stay behind, to wait, to see what the others will do, because we knew actually with trajectories where you can calculate today quite good what your path of flight will be. We knew we can come back into the race actually in France again when we go a little bit higher.
We try to evaluate the north track. And our Met guys, they said, okay, be careful because about thunderstorms, etc. And we saw the French guys and the German one go to the north, and we thought, wow, are we wrong?
Teams Spain 1 and USA 2 crossing Poland already. They're not allowed to land in Belarus though, so this might become difficult. Other teams already had to touch down, so tension is rising.
Then we crossed France and get higher and higher in the air to get more speed. And then when we reached Poland, we really were going as much as possible to the north to really finally get then to the northern part of Poland. And at the end today, now seeing the result of this race, just 20 kilometers between the third 3 winners, it's very, very close. After 2,080 kilometers, it's very close.
In a heart-stopping finish, Team Switzerland 1 took the win, landing safely near Jasno, Poland. Second place went to Team Germany 1, while Team Switzerland 2 got third.
We were really going to sleep and were already accepting that it will be the second place. And then the big surprise was actually waking up, and for me it was quite special because my women held me the iPad in the air and said, "Hey, we won! You are the first one!"
That's it from the 59th Gordon Bennett Cup. The 60th edition will be held in Gladbach, Germany. See you there.